Well, this is our morning view, New Jersey looking back at Pennsylvania, the town of Cumberland or something like that. What do you think? This is one of our last mornings, Ride for Freedom. What do you think, huh?
We're getting close to New York and I'm happy.
You're getting close to New York and you're happy. I hear you. I'm getting tired of getting up so early in the morning to go get Hampton before somebody calls the cops. Hey, there's a loose horse. And there's the steel bridge. That's number 2. We couldn't cross that. We had to go up to number 3 and cross. There's New Hope across there. That's the town over on that side. Thanks to Mike, who gave me a ride back to Feasterville. There's the other bridge way up there. That's the one I crossed on. It's a great town. Really nice houses. Let's go get Hampton. Lambertville. There's a great view of the bridge. That's really great. The River Horse Brewery. There you go. Mizahadzia. Kamuti humiu kabeli ati apium pizza. You know, it's sort of like air traffic control, you know. Ground traffic control, I call it. You know, Police Grid America. This is sector 279 Alpha, handing off. One horse moving into your sector at 280 Alpha. You know, it's like that, you know. You know, why are you in our town? Why is your horse in our town? Why is your bus in our parking lot? It's like everywhere you go, you know. Air traffic control. It's like, yeah. Policeman looks at me this morning, Lambertville police. He goes, yeah, comes by the bus in the morning. Where's your dad? Oh, he went to get the horse. Comes over to where the horse is. Yeah, is this your horse? Yeah. We're headed to New York City. Yeah. Ground traffic control. That's a great picture. They love to watch the animals. The geese, the Canadian geese, all lined up. We don't have a whole lot more mornings like this, do we, boy? Got Somerville tonight, Elizabeth tomorrow, Manhattan. We got like 2 days, man. New York City. Gonna be different after that. This is a canal system they pulled barges on. This is Lambertville. Yep, they're fixing it up. And the policeman come back and he said, have a safe trip. Got a picture. Have a safe trip. Hey guys, looking good. Yeah, they take a lot of pride in this town. Hunterdon County Bank. We got a great old church up here. The Methodists had a great church back here in this town. New Jersey State Police. Look at that house. Great, great house. It's a great little town. This farm's still going. Barn full of hay. New Jersey. So the same Lambert policeman, he stopped me again and he said that Lambertville, he said, I let the sheriff know up here you're coming through because people just aren't used to seeing that. So I let him know what was going on. You're coming through on your way to Somerville. So we appreciate that. It was nice of him to stop and tell me that he was being helpful. And we got 3 days to go. And man, Lambertville's a really nice town. They got a lot of great houses. He said they've been doing a lot of fixing up of the last 10 years. There's a fur company, Flemington Furs, New Jersey. That'll make the activists happy. Well, this is sort of our last country day, boy. We go into the city after tonight. And then we're headed into Jersey City, New York. And we're done. And you go on vacation. How do you like that? A double portion of grog, he says. Beer for my horses and whiskey for my men. Something like that, huh? I'll just take the beer. We've been everywhere, man. Rain, snow, hail, sleet, everywhere. Yeah, New York is looking better all the time. Times Square, Rockefeller Center, the UN, tie a mission to the UN. We'll give them a little piece of our mind. What's that, big boy? There's a house left to ruin over there across the street. Number of beat up houses. Sort of unusual in this part of the country. People take pretty good care usually. Well, eventually someone will refix it. And there's a nice old church over there. A lady told me she had a dairy, 80 cows, closed it because the milk company wouldn't come get the milk anymore, too far. She said she couldn't make any money at it anymore. Her words, you can't make any money at anything anymore. Makes you wonder. People have it so good in America and they just don't know it. Got these old houses made out of some of the best wood that ever grew up on the earth. Close grain Douglas fir, a lot of it out of the Northwest. All being let go to ruin. This place, trees that close to a house damage it. This yellow and green price, it's a great house. And it looks, well, not too bad, but could use some care. Great house, 3-story with a front porch, all rotten. You know what it costs to build something like that nowadays? Little piano on the front porch, you can play it if you want. House, got a barn with it. This new stuff, it don't look like nothing. Got another old house here. This is the Harvest Moon Inn at Rango on Highway 179, an old stone building. You see the cornerstones are quarried. They're like cut, you know, the keystones. I bet you that's been around here a long time. 2 chimneys. Passes our inspection anytime they have 2 chimneys. We've seen it all, Hampton. We've seen it all. Then some. There's John Peter Rockefeller back in there. Died 1763. Old cemetery. You could not ask for a nicer day. For one of the last days of the ride for freedom to New Jersey. You're a great horse, Hampton. Everybody loves you. There's a nice little barn. These are like dairy barns, you know. This house is fallen in. My great steed Hampton here. He just loves all this green grass to look at. We haven't seen any of this for a long time, have we? He's still got a long way to go today. Old roadhouse.
Corners of that stuff, I believe it's gold leaf.
Old gold leaf still left in there.
Yep.
That's all metal. You never see a ceiling like that anymore.
And the back was all metal too, been repainted in.
I see, yeah, it's all got little...
And, well, they took our original pulpit and chairs and everything else out.
How about the pews? They're original, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. And you got... this is beautiful.
No,
And you got a balcony up there?
Yeah, we closed that off years ago on account of heating.
Yeah. Well, this is beautiful. And you still got some people come. Remember what it's all about,
Yeah,
huh?
well, we only had 8 here last Sunday. Sunday before we had 16.
Yeah, well, the faithful, you know.
And it's picking up just a little. I see
So you had to fight for this tooth and nail to get it back, didn't you?
costing a lot of money.
Yeah, but it ain't being used for a discotheque, is it?
Nope.
They
No.
wanted to do an open mic in here, huh?
Yeah.
Dog and
You
pony
see,
show.
Look at the floorboards.
Yeah. A little planking. Can't hurt that.
Nope.
Yeah, most of the people that knew what was going on when they built these, they're not even around anymore.
No, no. Well, this, of course, the first.
You got an
building was-
old grand piano there too, don't you?
Yeah, that's a baby grand, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And it was made in Trenton, and somebody says about 1900.
1900. What's your name?
Hockenberry.
Hockenberry. Well, you saved the place then, didn't you?
Well, I didn't know if I did it or somebody else had a little bit of hand into it.
That could be, you know.
Quite a bit of hand into it, I think.
Yeah. And beautiful windows.
No, they had balconies up both sides at one time.
Oh, you can see the lines.
The
So
lines.
the balconies went around.
Yep, all the way up.
All the way up.
What's his name? George Whitfield? I don't know if you ever heard of him. Big old preacher way back when. When he was up in the cemetery, they said they had 5,000 people here one Sunday to this church.
Yeah.
But it was the first Presbyterian church anywhere in the area.
And it was
Preacher.
moved here in the 1800s from down the road.
Yeah,
At the cemetery.
1838. That was
1838.
built up there in 1738.
Yeah. And so what is it now? A Presbyterian church? or-
Non-denominational, independent.
Independent. There you go. Thanks to the Presbytery trying to take it away from you.
Well, I'm still fighting Presbytery because my brother passed away 4 years ago. And in his will, he left the remainder of his estate to go to the church. Well, since then, they closed the church.
They saying they still get it, aren't they?
They say they got something coming. But
Like a knock in the head.
my brother was on Medicaid.
Yeah.
We got a stack of bills from
Like
them,
that.
which is more than his estate's worth.
Yeah, no doubt.
So they still won't sign off. I've been fighting them for 3 or 4 years. Tried to get them signed off so I can get a clear title for the place so I can
Yeah.
do something there.
Yeah. Always
So-
something, isn't it?
Now they're going to send an appraiser out now after 3 or 4 years. They've been saying they're going to sign off. In the meantime, I'm paying the electric, the heat, the taxes and insurance.
There you go.
Cost me about $7 grand a year.
Yeah, and they ain't doing nothing and they want their hand in the till.
But
What presbytery is that?
this is New Brunswick Presbytery.
The New Brunswick Presbytery. Well, we'll have a little comment in our video today about the New Brunswick Presbytery.
Oh, I see you are video.
Well, we do civil rights activism, so it ain't real nice for them to try to take away a church. If they couldn't run it, then they should leave it to somebody else, right?
But what I think, but they didn't.
Yeah, well, it looks like you got them now.
So
Hopefully.
But I'm going to have to take him to court on his house now.
Yeah. Well, good luck on that.
Yeah, no.
You're 77 coming up, huh?
May.
May.
Still
Yeah.
farming. Don't know not to quit.
Still farming, huh? Yeah, well, good luck on all that.
50-some years. I milk cows 7 days a week.
And if I had more time, I'd climb up there and paint the steeple for you.
Would you? We got to get it done.
Yeah, it looks nice up
And
there, but
I
it needs some
don't
paint
know
on
where
it.
the money's coming from yet, because
Who's going to do the scaffolding?
well, I don't know, or if it can be done with a boom truck.
A boom truck would be quick, wouldn't it? Get somebody that's got a boom truck to give you a few days and you'll be
Well,
done.
they rent them things and everything else.
Yeah.
So. No.
So the Presbytery in New Brunswick took out the pool, the baptismal.
Yeah, it was baptismal fount.
They
was
took
here,
they took the organ
given it in memory of my mother.
in memory of your mother,
They
and they
took-
took all the silver, like.
Oh, they claimed everything.
What was
in
the
that.
silver stuff they took?
The communion set.
The communion sets. They took the communion set. They ripped out all these cabinets that were back here,
Yeah.
and they put them in the basement somewhere.
Well, I got no idea. They
Um,
took a 2-year-old organ out, and that went to another church. I know where that went.
Yeah. Sounds pretty predatory.
Yep.
Look at this woodwork. Isn't that something?
Mm-hmm.
That almost looks like Burmese lacquer work. It's been that way ever since you can remember, right?
That's only a couple of years.
And you close the balcony to keep the heat bill down.
Yeah. I got a bum knee too, so don't mind me.
I won't worry about that.
Try to get that operated on. That was got to be another problem.
Oh wow, look at this. This is beautiful. There's, you can see the gold leaf in the corner. There's a little flower in there.
You know, you get over here where the lights are. Better.
Yeah. One in every corner.
Yeah. It goes up a long ways yet.
Yeah. Yeah, America, all the way across America. And over a year traveling, all we see is old abandoned churches and abandoned buildings, and you wonder what's happening to the country.
No.
This is beautiful.
Well, that was donated to us not too long ago. About a month ago or so, we got that.
Yeah, that's nice.
And the amount of help I've had by volunteers is absolutely unreal.
Unreal. People helping. Yeah, well, some people still know what it's about.
The guy come in here and he repainted this whole hall. He patched the walls and everything else up here. He painted everything, and a landscaper that I just knew briefly said, "You bought the church? We'll take care of the landscaping." He come in with his crew, cleaned things up, mulched, planted flowers last fall, done all that.
Yeah,
And,
there's still people.
No, and gifts we've had to come in and stuff, it's been remarkable.
Well, I'll have to leave a card here.
Yep. Well, you can sign the book.
I'll do that too. Where do you see? There's still space here on down here at the bottom.
Well, more pages.
More pages? All right. All right.
No.
Hopefully you'll have good luck in restoring it the rest of the way. What is today? March, isn't it?
March 17th, I think. What's tomorrow? The Irish Day? Or today?
Is it?
Yeah, 17th.
You can give me a call when you get that church tower painted there.
So I don't know when we'll get it done, but we got to come up with some money from someplace, and I got no idea what it's going to cost.
Look at that hinge there. You don't see those very much anymore, do you?
Yep.
So now it's the Reeville Church. Used to be the First English Presbyterian Church, but the Presbyterians from down the road stripped everything out of it. And this old man bought it, and he's trying to fix it back up and get it going again. Pretty sad when the church itself strips the church, huh? And they need someone to come out and put copper on this steeple and fix the bell tower, paint it, repair it. Corner of Amwell Road and Old York Road. The junction of the 609. Just pick your foot up, boy. Get off your reins. Back up, back up. There you go. Not much left of this old barn. Years of neglect. Great location, old stone foundation. Pig crossing, it says. Yeah, that sort of sums it up, doesn't it? Another old house left to go. Guy's out night flying. There he goes. Okay, it's like really late at night, but I got a couple of really great stories I've got to tell you. I rode all the way as a slow day because a lot of people stopped me to ask me about Hampton and everything. So it was a pretty slow day. We got up to Somerville late, and it was dark already, and so it makes it harder to get a ride back. So it was 10 o'clock when I hit the road, and I'm going down the road, and I probably walked a mile, and 2 police cars converged on me. And the first policeman, he got out, and he goes, "All right, what's the story?" With a little bit of a sense of humor, right? And he goes, "We got a call that there was a suspicious person walking down the road." And then I explained what I was doing, you know, and he was a little bit tongue-in-cheek, you know, about the whole thing. But the point was that now in America, all you have to do is call on the phone to the police and say that there's a suspicious-looking person, and that's probable cause. So you get stopped because you just are there. You look different. You have green ears or something. So, okay. So anyway, they ended up being really nice, and they gave me a ride like 10 miles down the road or something, okay? And then they had to go back to work, and so they dropped me off at a stoplight, and I started walking down the road again. And I walked for probably another 7 miles, 8 miles, and got on the 179, headed down to Lambertville, okay, down by the water, by the bridge across from New Hope on the New Jersey side, right? So New Hope is on the Pennsylvania side. So anyway, I was headed back to the bus. And I'm walking down the road, and pretty soon another car pulls over, and this time it's state police, okay? And they said, "Oh, we got a call that a guy was walking down the road in a trench coat." You know, my duster, right? So now, if someone sees you wearing a trench coat, or they see you wearing cowboy boots, or they see you limping, or your hat's on crooked, any reason is an excuse to call the police. I mean, this is the America you people have created. You call the police about everything. So if someone's walking down the road, you call the police, and then you get stopped because someone called the police because you're walking down the road. So think about it. Think about the kind of America you're creating where everybody's suspicious, and if you're walking down the road,
you're suspicious because you don't have a Learjet or a nice new Acura or Honda of some type, and you get stopped. So anyway, that was what it was like. Anyway, so they got done going through their whole routine, right? And I said, well, hey man, I'm down the road here, another 7 miles trying to get back to my bus. And so they were like, okay, well, you know, we checked them all out and everything. Okay, we'll give you a ride. So they gave me a ride back to the bus. So I got 2 great rides in one night, but all because somebody called in, because first I was suspicious, and then I was wearing a trench coat, and then my hat was on crooked, and then I had my finger up my nose. I don't know what it was, you know. It's just people don't have anything to do, so they call the police. I mean, you know, I saw him, you know, step on a stone. I saw him walking on the road. I saw him kick a rock. I saw him, you know, scuff his foot on the fog line. You know, I saw him do something, by God, so I called the police, you know. All right, so this is, anyway, otherwise beautiful weather. We got a couple more days, but I got a lot of rides from police, man. They stop, you know, and I tell them what I'm doing and where I'm going, and all right, we'll give you a ride. So, but the other thing is, just want people to think about that, you know, getting stopped all the time. You know, I'm pretty used to it, you know, but it's still a thing to think about, you know, and you know, if someone's not breaking the law, why should they get stopped? You know, I guess that's my question. Anyway, all right, just let you something to think about, and we are in Somerville. It's really late at night. I give Hampton his grain and his hay, and I'm catching up on some video work here, and that's it for this evening. Okay, I want to talk about this church. Now, I was on the way to Somerville, and I noticed there's this church side of the road, and the lower part of it looked pretty well maintained, but up the steeple, it was like all chalky, the paint, and it needed painting again, right? And I was just thinking, there's a church steeple. I wonder who's going to repair that. And this truck pulls up the road and turns into the church parking lot, and this old man, this old woman get out, and they go and unlock the basement door, and they go in. So I get real close to the church, and the old man comes out, and I get off the horse, and we start talking. And I said, you know, I do painting, and I was looking at your steeple up there and noticing it needed paint. And he goes, yeah, he says, got to get a boom truck and got to find someone that'll paint it. And so he starts telling me the story of this church. It's an old Presbyterian church, okay, the building is. And it was built in the 1700s down the road a couple miles, and then in the 1800s it was moved up to where it is now. And people in the church got real unhappy with what was going on in the church, and so finally the Presbyterians closed the church, whatever. So this old man, he bought the land beside the church, and he tried to work out to get the church to reopen it as a church in the community, and the presbytery was going to sell it or do something with it, make it an open night place, you know, discotheque, porn parlor. I don't know what they were going to do with it, but it wasn't going to be a church anymore. And this old man from the community, he didn't want that done with the church. He wanted the church available for people to go there as a church. So he went through all this work to try to get the church back and get it to where it could be preserved as a church. And the Presbyterians, and he tells the name of the town, the Presbyterians, the presbytery, they come and they strip out the organ and, you know, all the upgrades have been made. This building's like 300 years old, you know. The cabinets on the back wall, you know, they're like looters, you know. Maybe they even pulled out the electrical sockets, you know, left wires sticking out. I don't know, but it was the kind of feeling you got, right? And there was a baptismal that his mother had donated to the church building there, part of the community. And the presbytery took it out. And they took out the communion set, which was silver. It had been with the church over 200 years. They took that. So anything of any value they stripped out of the church, right? The only thing they didn't take was the pews, which are really old, right? They didn't take that. But it just became about the money. It wasn't about that church and that community surviving or anything. Now it's a non-denominational church. The old Presbyterian sign is still up on the wall. But the Presbyterians, they don't do very well, you know, because I seen a lot of Presbyterian churches that were empty on this trip, and the one in downtown Memphis by Beale Street, big old stone Presbyterian church, all boarded up. All right? So maybe it has something to do with their teaching, the way they've gone with their teaching, okay? So this old guy tells his effort to save this church, and now he needs someone with a boom truck that can go way up there, and that steeple needs to be nailed together a little bit. It's got little loose corners in places and caulked, and it needs, the short steeple part of it needs new copper shingles. They're wood now, they need to be copper. It needs to be all copper up there, okay? And if you're watching this video and you're at that crossroad that's in that video, and you know that church, and you know somebody that could go up there and repair that and paint it, then you get in touch with the old man that's fixing that church. Now you go down the road there a little ways, you know, there's just 300,000 big box houses everywhere you turn, right? But that church's been there a long time. The people that started it, the people now, they don't even know what they were thinking. They're so far removed. But I do some video in here about that church and that old man and him trying to save that church for a church, not have it turned into some local discotheque. And it's just shameful what the presbytery from the neighboring town, what they did to strip out everything out of that church. And so people wonder why you got an old dilapidated church somewhere all run down and broken down. Well, it's because of stories like this where church leadership wants to gut the church because they can't have their way, so they're going to gut it. And they got no respect for the historic building. They damage the building. They take out things that were landmark items in that building. Things that had a long, long history. And it's pretty shameful, but it certainly isn't anything about good religion.